Hey, what's up? Guess I'll shut that so you don't see there. Oh my. Okay. I'm just gonna get right into this live stream video thing. I tried to set up the thing on my desktop at work, saying that I would do it, and then when I got on my phone, I couldn't find it. So anyway, so I had to make another one. That's why I'm not in the same link that there was earlier. What's up, ASAP? I'm gonna flip this camera around and start hacking on some meat. And my tripod stand thing has a crack in it, so if the thing just like falls flat, it's because the little tension isn't great. What's up, just 8? So I'm gonna hack up this backstrap. I got a couple of them I'm gonna do, and if I don't respond to the chat, yeah, it's just that there was a link that I had made and I couldn't get back into it with my phone. So it worked, I guess, for the notification, but the link was no good. What's up, everybody? Man, let's see. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. There we go. All right. So on a backstrap, there's like a bunch of this silver skin. You got to take it off, and there's a couple of different muscles. And what I'll do is split it into those muscles. Like you can see, that's 2 different muscles right there. I'll split all that so you can get all the silver skin out. But and I think there's another one right here. But I'm gonna get that going. I don't know. I probably 130 or 140. It was pretty big. I didn't weigh it. I mean, it's pretty big for a doe that was killed in Alabama. Obviously, it wasn't big if you're not from Alabama. It's pretty tiny. But I think they come in 100 pounds in Michigan. So. Yeah, so I hit 100. No, I didn't. I hit 450 subscribers last night, as a matter of fact. So, and most of them were still on my channel when I woke up this morning, so that's good. I know you need a good sharp knife. You can buy one that's pretty sharp, but it'll go dull eventually. But then you can just sharpen it. I've really screwed up some of this back here. My knife wasn't quite as sharp as I thought it was, I guess. But let me go ahead and peel this back a little bit. So, for those of you that like eat steak and stuff, there's some parallels with deer to beef and a butcher by any means, but I've eaten some steak and I kind of know where some of it comes from, and I was almost a doctor, so I kind of know some anatomy and stuff. So the loin, or the backstrap as you're looking at it, is, let's see what's in camera. This end on this side was down near the hip, and this up here was like up to the shoulder. So just keep that in mind as I'm going on. Medically speaking, this would be the superior end, and this would be the inferior. So there's that. And I'm pretty sure that translates to on beef. This end down here, the inferior, is where like New York strips and stuff come from. And then up here where there's a couple of different muscles. That's going to be like where ribeyes come from. They have the eye, the ribeye, and then there's a cap and this other muscle, and that's like where the ribs are. If you didn't know that, that's why they're called ribeyes, because ribs and stuff. But anyway, so you can cut steaks out of like a bunch of different parts of the deer, but they're usually tough, like out of the legs, where you would get your round steaks, your eye round and your bottom round, and something else. On a deer, those are really tough, and people usually cut those into roast. But we use so much hamburger meat that I just get both the hindquarters ground up into burger. I used to do my own, but my meat grinder burned up, so I'm taking this to a processor. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back through the chat and see what's going on, because I know that. Who all have I got in here? Davey and Jerry and ASAP and Just Ate. RKJ, hey, what's going on, man? And Lacey. Yeah, that's what we do pretty much. I just take the inner loins and the back straps, and I leave the shoulders whole, and I do roast out of them because it's just not worth going through all that connective tissue time-wise for me. If I was going to take it to a processor, though, I guess I could have them ground it up, but like I do like a roast with gravy and stuff, and it may be better than back straps, like off those shoulders, just in the crock pot and let it cook all day. Yeah, that's what it should have done. I left this. I don't have the luxury of like letting stuff hang, because like this week it got up to 60 degrees, so that would be terrible. So what we do is put stuff in a cooler with ice, which is not super ideal because of moisture and stuff, but usually let some ice and some salt, and I let it roll around in the back of my truck while I'm going to and from work and stuff for was Thursday. I shot this deer Friday, so there's 6 days. But like, to people that get kind of squeamish about that, I used to work at a grocery store, and we actually had a sign up in the meat department that said all beef aged a minimum of 12 days before processing, which means that at the very best it was processed on day 13 and sold on day 14. So if you cooked it the day that you got it and you got it the day after it was processed, you're eating 2-week-old beef. I mean, that's just sure. That's just how meat is, especially red meat. Like, and the way that it's handled has a lot to do with like gaminess and stuff. So, like I shot this deer at 2:30 or so, and at 5:30 I had it on ice. So like completely quartered up and on ice. So the quicker you can get a deer. Oh yeah. I took it off. Okay. Charlie built a gingerbread house. The quicker you can get a deer, at least like the inside of a deer out of the inside of the deer, the better the meat's gonna be. You're not gonna have like funky flavors running through steaks and hamburgers and stuff. I did do a video on getting the deer to this point, but I ran out of light because, I was working on it till like 5 o'clock and it gets dark about that time. So it's okay. I also didn't have a camera person, so it's just like my camera's propped up on the cooler. But I'll have to do a voiceover on that. I've got all the clips and stuff together, but I have to kind of do a voiceover and explain what I'm doing when I'm doing it.
Has nobody fed my kitty?
I don't know. Do you need to feed it? Sounds like it's pretty. I don't know.
Sounds like hungry.
What's up, Weekend Warrior? If you're here and you didn't catch it earlier, I may miss some stuff on the chat because I'm on the wrong side of the camera, I guess. But hey, should get that outside.
I gotta just feed it like right here.
Charlie, I wish you wouldn't have done that.
And then I'll pull it outside. That's then on my shelf.
Okay. Looks terrible. Maybe the other one will look better since I get 2 shots of this. A lot of people also mistakenly call this the tenderloin, but it's not. The tenderloin on a deer is where a filet mignon comes from. On a cow, which would be directly anterior of this if you're medical. So these are sitting on the backbones, and then on the inside of the backbone is where the fillet would be.
That's on my nose.
Okay.
Dad, my kitty used to do this. The kitty used to.
Yeah, I mean, and they kind of look like it, especially if they slice it. Let's see if I can get. So if you slice this right across here, like what would be how you would cut a New York strip, except that that's a lot smaller than that. And then you slice the tenderloin, especially down on the superior end of this, they're going to be the same size. And it's pretty close. I mean, if you think about like a T-bone, there's not a ton of difference between the strip side of a T-bone and the fillet side. I mean, I feel like there's a little bit more flavor in the strip side, and the fillet's a little bit more tender. But I mean, most people aren't going to be like, oh, if you just cut a piece of it off, they'll be like, oh, yep, that's definitely way tougher than the fillet or whatever. So it's close. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some steaks out of this, and then when I get down to where those muscles kind of diverge, we'll work on it. But what I do with this, like I said, a lot of people will take this and they'll cut like 1-inch sections, and then they'll have just like, I don't know, little bite-sized things. And then some people will cut like 2-inch sections and then butterfly that open. And I mean, that's better, but I like one steak. I don't want to eat like 3 steaks when I'm eating. So I don't know that I invented this cut, but I haven't seen anybody else do it, and I've been doing it for like 8 years. But I'll lay my fingers down like that and try not to cut them, and just cut about 4 inches. 4 fingers wide. So I get this, and you could leave it like this, and that's like a good sized steak. But what I do after I get it here is butterfly it, what would be from left to right if you're looking at the tenderloin. So as a whole, I just butterfly it this way, and you wind up with a steak that's about a 1/2 inch thick or so. Which, I mean, that's not like a super thick steak, but you get a lot more surface area out of it. So when you're seasoning it, you know, you've got a steak that's that big instead of that big, or instead of that big. So that's what I like to do with them. Like I said, I don't know that I invented that cut. And like some people are worried that you're cutting the wrong direction against the grain or whatever, but it works. So like after I cook it and stuff, I don't know how well you can tell how that's grained. You probably can't. But anyway, it works, and I can just cut straight across and like that's a bite, you know, just all the way down. So it works out pretty good. And I like to take these and, I mean, like, that's just a gorgeous piece of meat right there. Like, bam. But I usually pair them up in a vacuum bag and freeze them. And then, because there's almost always at least 2 people eating. And if not, I'll have leftovers. But usually there's me and Jess. So, and then Charlie doesn't eat much at all, ever. So she usually just kind of helps us eat ours. They still got people here? Yeah, a couple.
It's my first time with Daddy around my hand.
Am I going to cook these outside on the barbecue? I usually just pan, like, sear them, because it's usually just like me and Jess eating, and I'm not gonna like fire up the grill for 2 little steaks. But I mean, they're good on the grill. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just not worth the effort for me for 2.
Oh, so kitty. Yes, you can have just 2 more to take.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most people, when they cut them, they're just going to cut them 1 inch thick like that right there. And then they're basically just more than kebab meat to me. And I mean, I ate them like that for years. This is going to get a little tricky, I think, because I know there's this little, I don't know if that's the blade or maybe they would call that. Baby, can you get that out of the house, please?
I'm just gonna hold it. It makes me happy. My kitty makes me happy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's like what flank steak would be. Maybe it's somewhere. I know that the flank steak, not the flank, the flat iron, comes off the shoulder somewhere, and that muscle's getting dangerously close to the shoulder.
Kitty.
Hang on just a second.
Make some more food. So we'll be happy.
Does anybody want a cat? Because I've got one they can have. Like, I think flat rate postage.
No, my dad's just kidding.
I think flat rate postage anywhere in continental US is like $7, and I'll cover that if you'll take the cat. Oh yeah, thanks. Is this Judy Ann? I'm assuming it is because I'm pretty sure that you said you commented on videos. And this is a video, so I'm gonna try this right here. I think that there's another. No. This, like I was saying, is like where the ribeye would be. If you see, that's like a little bit different textured meat. This will. I thought there was a cap right there of some connective tissue, but it doesn't go all the way through. So, just imagine this 7 times larger than what it was, and that would be your ribeye there. This is like your eye, and this top part here that's a slightly different texture. You probably can't see, but anyway, like from here up is a different grain. That's where the, the stuff on the ribeye comes from.
Dad, you want a big of merchandise?
I don't know. And then I'm probably going to get one more steak of this, and then the rest of this with this and what's left, I'm just going to cut up into cubes, and I'll make kebabs, kind of like I did with the doves and stuff. I almost butterflied too far on that last one. But all this like connective tissue, I don't know like if anybody here has done any butchering or anything. But it's like tough, it's not fat. And deer fat is not, it's not good like beef fat, because like beef fat would be marbled all through here, and like deer fat just kind of sits on top of the muscle, and it's kind of gamey and disgusting and stuff. Like you need to trim all of that off.
Dad, look at the cat window. I just want you to see my cat.
And that's got some, like there towards that end of it, the grain starts getting kind of funny, but like that, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm gonna put some ice on this. She'll be home in just a little bit. Just while I'm cutting up this other one, but it's all pretty cold because it's been in the cooler. So all right, and then here's that second one. Bam. I'm not sure that this cutting board is, well, I guess while I'm actually cutting, it's keeping it off the island here, but it's definitely not big enough. I know that I've probably missed a bunch of stuff. Sorry about that. But anyway, talk amongst yourselves or about yourselves or whatever.
Might be a hedgehog eating like have food with it.
You think there's a hedgehog eating?
Yeah, I just saw one.
You saw a hedgehog.
It was this big.
It was that big, eating your cat's food. If anybody wants a hedgehog to go along with that kitten.
But the hedgehog is being nice to my kitten, and I'm afraid of hedgehogs.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Look out the window.
Baby.
No, it's super big. You have to see it. I did not know what I did with the hedgehog. It went away.
So the hedgehog's gone, in case y'all were wondering. We have a bad problem with hedgehogs here in North Alabama. They're just all over the place. And they like cat food.
My cat doesn't know that hedgehog. I got my cat found the fan, the hedgehog.
If the hedgehog comes back, I'll shoot it.
But it's not.
Oh, then I'll leave it alone. Who all have I got left in here? Let's see. So, let's see. Lacey, do y'all have a meat grinder? I know you said that you canned up some ground. How did you get ground, dear, I guess? Did you take it somewhere?
It's actually a raccoon.
There's a raccoon back there?
And it's eating my...
Okay.
See it?
I don't see it. Do you see it? I don't see it.
See that thing moving? See it?
Hang on.
See that face?
Holy crap. So there's a possum. It's not a hedgehog. And you probably can't see it. Do you see it moving? Yeah, right there. So anyway,
I can't see it.
baby, it's way over there. It's fine. So
How did the possum get here?
it walked, baby. It didn't cross the road though, or it would have been dead. Yeah. The possum is your kitty's friend?
Yeah.
Alright, so we actually don't have hedgehogs. I was being sarcastic earlier. I thought my daughter was just being silly. We do have possums, though. I didn't think about it coming up on the back porch and eating cat food while we're in here.
No.
And the
My
cats.
kitty ate the cat food with the possum.
Oh, they were sharing?
Uh-huh.
That's nice.
So they became fans, and I don't know how. Because possum and a kitty don't become fans.
You're right. It's very likely friendship. They should make like a Disney movie about it or something.
Only a kitty has a kitty fan.
You think
And
so?
a possum has a possum fan. So how did a possum walk here?
I guess it just smelt that cat food and came on over.
But I like possums.
I don't. They don't taste good.
Because I've never seen one.
I've never eaten one.
And have you seen one?
I have seen one. I've seen several.
Possum chili.
I saw one the other night while I was deer hunting. It might be the same one.
Whenever I saw that possum, I was like, "Hey, there's a hedgehog!" Because I didn't know what it was. It was a hedgehog. Anyway, why did my kitty heel just save the possum?
Yeah.
Where's the possum?
Did I miss anything in all the excitement? Oh, okay. Is your meat grinder is an electric meat grinder, or is it like an old school like sausage grinder that you bolt to the table?
Animal is that? Is it a puppy trying to eat my cat?
Hey, somebody's coming in the door.
Mom, there's a possum.
Yeah, we had one, and I used it for several years, but it just burned out. Like the switch kind of went out on it one year, and it still worked. You just had to like mash it just right. But last year I went to use it and it wouldn't come on, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna make jerky out of all this because I had already started cutting all of it up. Hey, she thought there was a hedgehog out there, and I was like, Charlie, just be quiet. There's not a hedgehog out there. And then she's like, there's a raccoon. It wasn't a raccoon either.
It was a possum.
It's a possum. We could say hey,
Hi.
or you could just read all my comments if you wanted to. I know you got better things to do though.
The door, and you can see it better.
I got it on film. It was running towards Mom's. Hey Mom, there's a possum heading your way.
So you can see my kitty, you can also pet it. I hate my kitty. Mama ate my gingerbread house.
Yeah, she ate the roof off of it.
When you look at my kitty, it said hey.
What's up, aerial views? If you didn't pick up on it, I'm probably gonna miss most of the post.
Say hey to my kitty.
That's the third time the cat's been in. I'm gonna miss most of the post because I'm on the wrong side of my camera. Sweet, thanks. Hey, why don't you turn your volume down if you're gonna watch it in here? It is indeed deer, and it's the best part of the deer. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the inner loin is probably the most tender, I guess, but I feel like it's a lot of work and not a lot of meat, and you get nearly as tender meat and probably a better flavor out of this. Hey, are you helping me out on that chat? I saw that. If you can kind of like keep me up to date, I could probably talk some more. Yeah, I'm probably gonna throw them out to the cat, and then let the cat and the possum fight in a duel to the death, and I'll be okay with the outcome, I guess. The possum is doing what? Yeah. So if you've ever cooked ribs, on the underside of the ribs, there's like some membraney stuff. And the way to get that off is to grab it with like a paper towel and just kind of pull it. And you can do the same thing if there's any membrane on this back strap. Just kind of pinch it, and then it all pulls up, and it's all neat and nice in a paper towel for you. It's not any good to eat either. Yeah, the only way I would eat a possum is if I could catch it, and then, which I could have caught that one, I guess, and then like corn feed it for a month or so, because they eat a bunch of trash, and that's not my style. I don't know why this one had so much on it and the other one didn't, but I may have cut that other one out a little bit different when I was getting it out off the animal. So let's see. So I know that Lacey is pretty used to like wild game being in her house because her family hunts and stuff. Does any of y'all hunt or partake in wild game frequently? What? Oh, it turned a shape-shifting hedgehog?
No, maybe it was a headshot, and then the kitty started whipping, and then it ran, and then possum came, and then it just the rest was it.
What we got?
No, I think everybody thinks I'm genius for storing our Christmas tree
In the closet? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty genius for sure. Did I put that other? Oh yeah, it's down here. I think Callie was there. Let's see. Yeah, we have some full closets, but we made room for a Christmas tree in one. I lost count of how many steaks I got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess I'm gonna try and cut one more steak here, and then that way I'll have 12. Like this end of the backstrap, especially on this bottom side, like the texture right here is almost like ground beef. It's just super, especially for like an animal that hasn't been pampered its whole life and it's like had to work for what it ate and drank and survived. Like it's super tender right there, and that's just is you get a lot smaller steak on this end, but the texture is just killer. And so yeah, like that's the smallest steak that I cut. It's probably 5 inches or so by 3.5, and Down on this end, it's a lot thicker. Seems like on that fillet, that's close to an inch thick there. So I don't know. I've got 12 steaks. That's the smallest one out of the backstrap, and then I've got a pretty good pile of stuff here that I'll just cut up and cube into like kebabs, and they're probably the same weight as 2 of those steaks. So yeah, like I said, I don't think I invented that cut because I'm not that creative, but I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I like it a lot. Really, I feel like I've cooked these up just like that in the skillet. Just throw a little Tony Chachere's or something on them, and they're just super good. Yeah, babe. Hey, what's up? I feel like I got down to 2 and now I'm at 3, so somebody new is here. Just trimming up the very ends of this back strap. Yeah, well, see, if you're still here, let's see. You're probably still here? Yeah, the flash would do this faster, but then you wouldn't be able to see it. I'm more I'm trying to be more like those 4 guys on the head. But anyway, this is a how-to. Yeah, I'm taking it like baby steps, you know. But I got that, and I'm just gonna cut them about 3/4 of an inch thick or so. And I could have left that hole and butterflied the whole thing open and like stuffed mushrooms or something and wrapped it in bacon. That would have been good. But I'm gonna do that with the inner loins. I'll leave them whole, just trim the stuff off of them. And I'll throw these on the grill with some pineapple and onion and stuff. This is just like some weird textured stuff, so like it just kind of slices however it does. I'm actually slicing, I don't know, the grains run this way. I'm almost slicing with the grain on that, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. It's super tender anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then yeah, so there's a bag worth of kebab stuff. So like basically everybody's gone. I'm gonna wash my hands and call this a night. All I'm doing now is just vacuum sealing, and it would sound terrible if I was doing that live anyway. So thanks again everybody for 450 subs. And I'll see y'all again at about 500 or so. Y'all take it easy.